Hello, beautiful people. Happy Friday. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for being here. Thank you all for tuning in today. We have an amazing topic that we're going to talk about. Some good stuff today. I surveyed the community and I asked you guys, what was it that you wanted me to talk about? What did you want to hear me share about? And I thank you for sending me your messages and leaving your comments. And so today, we are going to be talking about, I'm going to share with you 6 tips to stay physically and mentally motivated. 6 tips, 6 things that I have done that have helped me to stay on task and to continue on my journey without giving up. And someone asked me, Pastor Rochelle, with everything that's going on, with all the things that you're doing, with everything that I have to do in my life, how do I stay motivated? I'm on this health journey, whether it's physical health journey, mental health journey, or an emotional health journey, maybe a spiritual journey. How do I stay motivated? I start out well, and then somewhere in the middle, I lose focus and I give up. What do you do to stay on task? So here are my 6 tips to help you stay physically and mentally motivated. Now, I'm sharing this with you because these are the things that have worked for me. In the last 5 years, I have been very committed and very dedicated to my overall wellness. Not just my physical, but my mental, my emotional, my financial state. I have really been working hard at holistically bringing myself into balance. And so there were 6 things that I did consistently that helped me to do that. And I want to share those things with you. So here is tip number 1. Watch your mouth. That's right. Tip number 1, watch your mouth. Be careful how you talk to yourself because yourself is listening. Listen, we spend so much time bad-mouthing ourselves and talking negative about ourselves that we don't realize the damage that we are doing. There is a passage of scripture in the Bible in James chapter 3 that says, out of the same mouth comes blessings and cursings. Out of your mouth, 1 minute you're blessing yourself, and the next minute you're counteracting the blessing with a curse. We spend so much time talking about what we don't like, what we wish we had different, what we can't stand about ourselves. And let me tell you this, the very thing that you are complaining about is the very thing that somebody else is praying for. But you have to be careful about how you use your words, because your words that you speak against yourself can frustrate your process. It can totally turn you off. So one of the things that I had to do is I had to change my language. I had to change the things that I was speaking over my own life. I had to change how when I looked in the mirror, instead of complaining about, oh my God, I look fat today. How about, oh my God, my hair really looks cute today. I had to change my focus and change my perspective about myself. And I had to start learning, watch this, to love myself with my words. And so that is my first tip. Your words should edify you. Your words should empower you. Your words should make you feel good about yourself, even if you don't see what you hope to see yet. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, don't bite off more than you can chew. What do I mean by that? We always try to do more than we are physically, mentally, or emotionally capable of. Because somewhere in our head, we think that the more we do, the more successful we are. And the reality is that when you take on too much, you end up being even more stressed out and more frustrated. Because the moment that you fail at one thing, everything else goes with it. And so I always say I would rather have success at one thing than be a failure at many things. So be careful with that. If you set a goal this year to lose weight, let that be your focus. Don't try to lose weight, stop smoking cigarettes, get up at 7 in the morning, drink 50 gallons of water a day. It's too much, because the moment that you don't complete one thing, it leaves you frustrated. So here's what I want you to do with that. Take the big picture and break it down into smaller pieces. Let me give you an example. Let's say, for instance, you said, I want to lose 52 pounds this year. Okay, 52 pounds, when you look at it like that, it seems like a lot of weight to lose. Especially if you haven't been eating healthy and you've never worked out, it can be very frustrating. But if you change that and say, okay, I want to lose 52 pounds this year. How many weeks are in a year? There are about 52 weeks in a year, give or take. That would mean you would need to lose 1 pound a week. That seems reasonable. Anybody can lose a pound in a week. You can lose a pound in a day. So you see how when you take the big picture and you break it down into smaller chunks, the goals become more attainable. And that's what we're going for. We want our goals to not only be measurable, but we want them to be realistic, and we want them to be attainable. So don't bite off more than you can chew. Stop trying to do too much. You're doing too much. Slow down, back up, pick one thing, and work on that all year. Okay? Tip number 3, plan for failure. Now, I know. What? Pastor Rochelle, what in the world? Why would you tell me to fail? I didn't tell you to fail. What I said was plan for failure. I need to make this point first. Failure is never final. There is a benefit to planning for failure, because if you start to look at your goals and you start to say things like, what if I don't lose a pound a week? What am I going to do different? Does that make sense? What if, what would it take for me to quit? Like, if you were at the point where you like, you know what? This is stupid. I'm not going to do this. I quit. What would be the thing, I'm talking about the extreme thing, that would cause you to throw in the towel? And if that thing was to happen, what's your plan of action? Like, what is your plan of action? And I think that's where we mess up. I always looked at my life and my journey as this. What if I don't lose the weight this week? Is that the end? Am I going to give up? Am I going to use that failure as an opportunity to go back and reevaluate what I could have possibly done different? So, plan to fail. I didn't say fail. I said plan for it. Think about the what ifs. If this, then what? If this happens, then what am I going to do about it? If I don't lose a pound a week, am I going to sit here and cry about it? Am I going to go eat a gallon of ice cream? Am I going to just throw in the towel? No, that means when the next week comes, I'm going to be more focused. I'm going to be more disciplined. I'm going to start tracking my food. I'm going to start tracking what I eat. So again, I want you to think about it in that perspective. If this, then what? That is what I call planning to fail, so that you don't quit. If you plan what you will do when you get to the point of quitting, you probably won't give up. If you think about why you started in the first place, you more than likely won't give up. All right, so that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, my favorite. Find your tribe. What do I mean by that? If you are going to have success on this journey, now listen, many people are good. They're what I call introverts. They don't need people. They live on islands all by themselves, and they can do life without other people. Cool. I'm not like that. I need people. I need people to push me. I need people to motivate me. I need people to encourage me. Now, my dues are not predicated on if people do that, but it does help to keep me motivated. So you have to find your tribe. You have to start reaching out and looking for people who have common interests like you, who are striving for the same things that you're striving for, who have similar goals to yours, and start connecting with those people. Now, that does not necessarily mean you're going to have all these face-to-face friendships. You may have to connect with some groups on social media that are working towards, let's say, food goals, or maybe it's a group that's working on mental wellness. Maybe it's a group that's working on financial wellness. There are so many groups on social media. I started a group on Facebook called the Food Group, and the purpose of that group was to bring like-minded people together so that we could encourage each other to taking our whole life and bringing it into balance. So you gotta start reaching out. You gotta start looking for like-minded people to bring into your tribe that can help to push you, to encourage you, watch this, and hold you accountable. That's the other thing. I had some people in my life that were holding me accountable, that when they saw me eating one too many cookies at the snack table at work, they would say things like, excuse me, Rochelle, I thought you was working on your health. Why you eating all them cookies? And that helped me because I'm like, oh, you know what? You're exactly right. So you need to look for accountability partners. Now, I need to say this. You need to use discernment. What is discernment? You have to be mindful because everybody that looks like they're for you are not necessarily for you. And so you have to be careful in your choosing. And I always say this, pray and ask God to send you who is for you to help you. Did you hear that? Pray, ask God to send you who is for you to help you. And God will do that. God knows exactly what you need. He cares about everything that concerns you. And he knows that you need a certain type of people to motivate you, to push you, and to keep you on track. So find your tribe. Be open. Don't limit yourself because you may think that your tribe looks one way and God may have something totally different in mind. So be open. Okay, so that's tip number 4. Find your tribe. Tip number 5, celebrate your wins. Celebrate your wins. All right, let me give you this really quickly. I read that it took Thomas Edison 10,000 tries to get the light bulb to work. 10,000 times he failed. And you know what Thomas Edison said? He said, no, I did not fail. What happened is during those 10,000 times, I found 10,000 reasons why the light bulb didn't work. He changed his perspectives. And so here's what I want to say to you. Your goals are not going to happen overnight. The things that you are aspiring to are not going to happen overnight. But you need to learn to celebrate the small wins. Let me give you an example. If you said that every day this week, for 5 days, you were going to work out. Let's say Friday came, you woke up, you weren't really feeling like it, you were exhausted, maybe you were sore from the day before, life showed up. You didn't get a chance to work out, but you did drink the amount of water that you said you was going to drink for the day. Guess what? That is a win. You have to learn to celebrate your wins, though they may be small, because it's the small things, the small successes that lead to the big successes. And so you have to change your perspective. I'm also an entrepreneur. I sell some hair products for your hair, and I don't always make sales every week. I literally haven't sold one bottle of Dew Butter in the last 3 weeks. Like, not one. Does that mean I'm a failure? No. I celebrate my wins because even though I didn't sell any Dew Butter, I had several people ask me about Dew Butter and I was able to give out 3 samples. That's a win for me because that means that my business is still relevant. So celebrate your wins. Just because you didn't have a major success doesn't mean you didn't have any success. All right. And our last tip. You ready? Tip number 6. Commit to the process. Okay. This thing will not work if you don't commit. You have to be all in. You can't have one foot out and 1 foot in. If you're going to stay motivated, stay on task, see your goals come to fruition, complete tasks that you actually start, you are going to have to commit. I'm sorry. There is no option. You have to commit to the process. You got to be all in. There's a scripture in Philippians 4:13. In the beginning of it says this: I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. I want to focus on the first part. I can do all things. You are affirming to yourself that I'm committing to the process. Even if, watch this, it gets hard, even if it gets challenging, even if I have some failures, I'm committing to the process. I'm going to see this thing to the end. You got to be all in. You can't, there's no way that you're going to feel any fulfillment in your journey if you keep stopping. You gotta keep it moving. You have to keep going. You have to commit. You have to be all in. It says when you, I wrote something down. Let me read it. It says when you commit to the process, even if you fail, even if you have a challenge, even if you have to do it alone, you will see internal transformation that will outlast your external transformation. When you commit to the process, regardless of the circumstances that come, and guess what? There are going to be some circumstances. Life is going to show up. Stuff is going to happen. It's going to hit the fan. You may have some bad days, but you got to know that your good days always, listen, your worst day is still never your worst day. There is always somebody else that has it way worse than you. So you have to commit to the process and be all in. So those are my 6 tips. I hope that has been helpful for you. I hope that has gave you a little insight on how to stay physically and mentally motivated on this journey that you are on, whether it's with your overall health, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, whatever it is, relational. How do you stay motivated? How do you stay with it? How do you stick to it? So I hope that has helped. If this has been helpful for you, do me a big favor, please, right below this video in the comments. Just let me know, how has this helped you? Did it help you? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. Just leave me a message. Just say hi. Let me know that you stopped by, that you watched the video. And make sure, I'm going to say it again, you need to subscribe to this channel right below this video. Make sure you click that red subscribe button, because we're going to be having some great discussions, some great topics, and I don't want you to miss out. You don't want to miss out. And make sure you tag and share this on your social media sites, on Facebook, on Instagram, with Twitter, so that the world knows that I'm here, that you came, you were blessed, and they need to be blessed. So thank you for being here. I hope you have an amazing day on purpose. Guess why? Because you're worth it. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.